This is Mike with This Old Relic, coming to you from the historic Woodstock, Illinois Square. You might be wondering why I'm starting the video off here and not at the This Old Relic shop like I normally am. And there's a reason why. Because, whether you realize it or not, it's Groundhog Day! So Woodstock, Illinois is one of its biggest claim to fame is that this was the major filming site for Groundhog Day. A lot of the cast and members were from the Chicago area, so they wanted to find a location near the Chicago area so people can go like at home over the weekends and that kind of thing. So one of the first locations scouted out was Woodstock, Illinois, and one of the reasons why was because the location manager had been here prior for another filming of another film, which actually took place because they needed a courthouse for that film behind us, which was called Planes, Trains, and Automobile. And they actually filmed it in this courthouse. So he was familiar with the town. He thought that this was going to be the best town. And then Harold Ramis basically threw it out right away. No. So sent them on a wild goose chase. And eventually they came back and decided on Woodstock, Illinois. There were some issues with the selection of Woodstock, Illinois. And one is that it's a square, not a circle, like Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. However, and the other thing that they did change in the film is they decided to move Gobbler's Knob to the town center so that they can get kind of a shot like this with that building in the background. That's the historic historic Woodstock Opera House. And it actually just comes in as an inn in the film, but it's a very famous, popular location in its own right, historic location in its own right, and very famous here in Woodstock. And I'm going to move so you can hopefully get a better shot of it. But you can see the bell tower here. That circle is where Phil jumped out trying to off himself. The lights behind me, that's the balcony of the Opera House, and that's where you'll see Woodstock Willie come out to greet his fans to start off the festival. I missed it this year, unfortunately, taking care of other stuff, but life gets busy. Can't always run out to festival stuff, but they do a wonderful job with pyrotechnics and everything else, and well, Willie is just, he's Willie. He's awesome. So last year, they do a whatever, you know, where they give the weather rodent prediction. So, every year out here in Woodstock, just like they do in Punxsutawney. However, last year, Punxsutawney Phil and Woodstock Willie had two different predictions. Phil got it right. Willie got it wrong. Willie predicted an early spring, and we got snow in April. So needless to say, everybody was really kind of upset at Willie last year. He was even brought into the police department, the Woodstock Police Department, for questioning on this. They let him go without charging him, but yeah, they had some questions for him. So that's kind of where we're at. You might be wondering what a landscaper has to do with Groundhog Day. Well, not much, to be honest with you. But I'll be honest with you, too, is that when I get to have a little bit of fun with the weather, I enjoy it. You know, I don't actually think a rodent's going to be able to tell me whether we're going to have, when spring's going to come. I mean, I have my own prediction for the first day of spring, which is March 21st. So, that being said, anytime that something comes in with the weather, which is a major part of what I do every day as a landscaper. It could make or break me. In the winter, I am looking for huge storms. In the summer, rain every once in a while, preferably on the weekends when I don't want to work, is the best time to get it. But rain could put me out, or depending on the season, it could, the water from the sky in the form of ice could make my business. So weather plays a big part in my everyday life. And so when you can have some fun with the weather, why not? And I can't help but say, I might actually just kind of, understand Phil from Groundhog Day, reliving the same thing over and over again every single day. So we're here at the button gearbox. We are not giving up on the button. Whether it's setting it on fire and rolling it down a hill into a ditch. And, I'm actually here at the farm store in Woodstock to go pick up parts for the button. There you go. That's how this fits. That is the historic Woodstock Theater. It's part of the National Registrar, and it's known as the Alpine Theater in the film Groundhog Day. So they removed the ticket booth during some renovations that was there for the film. That's where Bill Murray was dressed up as Clint Eastwood. You feel lucky? And I'm going to point you this way while we walk. And the reason why is so that you can actually see the crossing. I don't want to dwell on railroad tracks, but that's the actual intersection that Bill Murray turned down, and there's a train coming. Woohoo! That he turned down to drive a Cadillac into a train. Fun fact about the train, it still exists. It came from a museum. It was painted green originally. It's now painted red because they did a restoration on it. It's at the Illinois Railway Museum, and the reason why they painted it red was because that was the color the engine was originally when it was first manufactured. It wasn't green. So, maybe we can get a good shot of the train coming down the tracks. But just to get you another shot of the Woodstock Square. Good morning, everybody. I'm not a morning person. We got some of the white stuff on the ground too. A lot of people don't realize this. Snow is an acronym for stuff no one wants. And stuff is actually a different word that begins with S. But anyways, I'm digressing. So we are here for the official announcement of Groundhog Day. And we get to see what Woodstock Willie has to say this year. Whether we get more of this snow stuff or whether, we don't.
This is one time where television really fails to capture the true excitement of a large squirrel predicting the weather.
Welcome to Woodstock. How many first-timers for Groundhog Day do we have? That's impressive. That's impressive. Come back again and again and again and spend some money in Woodstock, all right? I want to echo what Rick said. The committee that puts this on does an incredible job. And the Opera House staff, the Public Works staff, Woodstock PD, thank you for the work that you all did. Daniel Campbell and leading the crew, the Opera House, and everybody else in the city of Woodstock. Thank you guys very much. All right. Are you ready? Yes! Is that time? It is that time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, campers everywhere, it is time to find out what's going to happen with spring. Should we bring out Woodstock Willie? Let's do it. This February 2nd at 7:07, Woodstock Willie, the seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators, emerged very reluctantly, but alertly to Woodstock, Illinois, to wish his faithful followers a happy Groundhog's Day. Willie looked skyward to the east, then behind to the ground, and stated in very clear groundhog ease, I definitely do not see myself. For what it's like this morning, that's the
I heard that last year too.
I can't thank you all enough for coming out. Lots of activities on the square today. Get out and visit those stores, those restaurants. Thank them for getting up early and serving all of us. And remember, we do this every day, all year. Woodstock.com. Thank you for coming out, making it a great crowd this morning.
All right, there you have it, folks. They ripped Woodstock Willie out of his nice, comfy little home to give us a nice little prediction. Raised him up like he was Simba. And Woodstock Willie said, we get an early spring. Did that last year too, and well, we had snow in April. So I'm not putting too much stock in that. I'm sticking with my prediction of March 21st as the first day of spring. But it doesn't really matter too much because for me, the snow doesn't really bother me anyways. Wait, that's the wrong movie. Anyways, so the day that never ends, I guess it comes to an end.